So we went out today for lunch and we went to a restaurant that, by the way, the food was amazing, amazing. I had shrimp with tequila sauce and it was awesome. And while we were there, there was a family sitting near us, a family of three, mother, father, and a kid. The kid was about 9, 10 years old. And the chairs, they were kind of armchairs. So the kid was encrouched in one chair facing the wall. And of course, he was with a phone, I believe. And on the table, there was this huge battery pack. And he was watching something while the family was interacting. I didn't see him eat anything also. And there was, during the time that we were together there, at least half an hour, he didn't interact with the parents or with anybody at all, just on the phone. And I'm not here to judge anything that was happening there. It's not my place to do that. But I see three things happening, and I've seen that scene dozens of times, right? Maybe I eat out too much, I don't know. But it's quite common to see the kids like that. Three things happens here. The very first one is we as human beings, we learn by observation and mimicking. That's how you learn how to walk. That's how you learn how to talk, right? By that, those everyday interactions that we have with people near us. What happens in this kind of situation is that the kid, it's not really paying attention to any surroundings. So he doesn't know if the music is too loud or not, if people are laughing or they are crying or they are yelling, because he's focused on something else. And the most important part, he's not observing the interaction the parents are having, what kind of conversations they're having, how they interact when they agree with something, how they interact when they don't agree with something, what kind of faces they make if they like the food or if they don't like the food. All that's missing, right? It's not happening. Well, then you have to question what's going to happen later, right? Because we've seen an increase of people that have a very hard time socially, and the younger they are, the worse it is getting, right? Very difficult to deal with conflict, very difficult just to have normal interactions. And we have to question this generation, the kid probably is an alpha, what's going to happen later, right? If he misses all these cues. And of course, this doesn't mean that what happened there happens the whole day, but most likely it does. Second thing is that the entertainment piece. We're living right now in a moment where the kids need to be constantly entertained. It's not just a matter of saying, oh, the devices are the new babysitter, because, we also have TVs to do that before and things like that. It's just the fact that they are being entertained constantly. Now, I don't know about you, but everything that I have today or I am today is because I paid a price for. Right? So, for example, going through school years, I was most of the time bored to death, but I learned how to deal with that boredom in order to be able to learn and move through the stages of school, college, etc. Right? So we learn those things. We learn, for example, when we have a chore, that we have to get out of the couch and we have to do something for the benefit of others as well. It's not all about ourselves. So, and we have to deal with difficult situations that happens throughout our lives. That's the price we pay to be where we are today. Well, if I think, or if I just, that's how I am conditioned, I think that I have to be entertained the whole time. When I have to deal with the situations, what's the reaction we are going to have? And it's a very good point to question, because, these are our future leaders. They are going to be our future presidents, right? So it's very important. Are they able really to interact and go through these situations, or go through moments of their lives where they really don't like what's going on, but they learn how to move through? Or do they need to be constantly entertained? Good question. Third thing, isolation. The kid was isolated, probably by choice, the whole time there. But is isolation a good thing if it's a constant in your life? I have to tell you that we all experience that. because of COVID. And some of us had a very hard time going through that, others not so much. But the younger we are, the more isolated we have become. Actually, the group that is from 18 to 29 years old is the people say, the scientists say, that they are the most isolated group so far. Did happen for many reasons, and one of them was COVID. They got used to being isolated and they stay there, and that's where they are. Now, this alpha generation is a different kind of isolation. They're in constant look of a virtual reality instead of being interacting with humans. And questions to have is, how are they going to meet their perfect partner? How are they going to have friends and things like that? Plus, the fourth thing here that I want to make a point is that I'm always here. If I'm being entertained all the time, if I'm looking at videos all the time, I'm not spending any time with myself. I'm not learning how to deal with my emotions. I'm not learning how to question myself about things. I'm not learning how to do anything that is me with me. Before, we always had time to be with yourself, a walk into the supermarket or go hunting or whatever, right? You would spend some time alone and you would learn not only to be alone, but to enjoy being alone. Because a big question is, if you're not comfortable being with yourself, but you expect others to accept you, there is a disconnection right there, right? And in this case, they are never with themselves. All they perceive of the day is what happens again in a virtual reality. It's the external. And that is one of the reasons why it's so important for a younger generation to be accepted, not to get bad comments, not to have thick skin when you have trolls saying you're ugly, you're fat, you're this and that, because it happens, right? I don't, because I'm expecting that external thing to validate me instead of me validating myself. So, what do I want with all of this? I actually want to open a discussion. What do you think? Am I wrong? I don't think I'm very wrong all the time, but I have been wrong a few times. And what's your perspective of what's about to happen with this new generation? We are going to rely on them to guide us in the future. But are they going to be ready? Will they be able? Life is not easy. It's not easy for anybody. It's not going to be easy for them either. Even worse, right? Because while they spend their time consuming this amazing amount of entertainment, we have AI on the other side learning at a pace that we cannot even imagine, having skills being upgraded by the second. And those AIs will take a lot of jobs. Yes, like it or not, it is going to happen. You can avoid AI as much as you want, but it's going to happen, right? And the AI is also learning how to monitor us all the time, from how many steps I take, how much water I drink, and all this kind of things. How are these kids going to have an advantage here if they are being deprived of all the things that make us who we are? It's very healthy for us to question. So let's question that. Let me know what you think.